On to the next query that is from WhatsApp. Ravi from Chennai is a long-term investor. He's bought 200 shares of LTIMindtree, bought at 1,000 rupees a piece. And he's saying that considering the performance and valuation, I'm thinking of selling it and buying Nuvama or 361 VAM. Kindly share your input. Since he's a long-term investor, I'll come to you again, Astha. Is that the right strategy to adopt? Sell LTIMindtree 200 shares and buy Nuvama or 361 VAM?
I think LTIMindtree definitely the results were not so much encouraging. And that is why we have seen the numbers. I mean, the stock prices numbers are not in the favor right now. But I think rather than going for buying Nuvama or any other counter, because right now what we are seeing that capital markets are not in good shape. So I think ultimately it will going to affect all the counters that are present or related to this sector. So rather than going with these counters, I think it's better to switch to the other counters in which Britannia has played a very, very good role. So there he can see, and in fact, one pharmaceutical counter, although it's a pharma counter and a mid-cap pharma counter, but we are positive on this counter, which is Jackson Pal Pharma. In fact, we have recommended it previously also. So Jackson Pal Pharma is looking good to us, and in the public sector bank space, UCO Bank is looking good to us. So I think these are the safe, places where one can hide right now rather than going with any stock which is related to the capital market. Although I think right now LTIMindtree is also not in a very good shape. But if anyone wants to switch, then we are recommending these counters.
All right, that's the view coming in on LTIMindtree. Moving on to the next caller, Vinod Kumar from Bengaluru is calling in. Vinod, a very good morning to you. How can we help you?
Yeah, I want to know that Kotak Wabag shares, what is the target price for short term?
For short term, okay. You've looked at the charts already. I believe you're holding 300 shares.
Yes.
All right. I'll come to you, Kushal. Vatek Wabag, it's in a very interesting space. Water treatment is the space, and it's something that's really growing in a big way. In the coming years also, it's expected to grow in a big way. But how does it fare on charts?
This is a negative view on Vatek Wagbag simply because the stock is topping out and it's formed like a 2B pattern, which gives you a clear indication that there's a change in potential trend reversal in the intermediate trend. And I think the stocks behave that way. The stock currently trades at a very critical levels at 200 EMA support. So my sense is that the selling pressure might sustain further once it breaches the 1300 mark. So I would recommend to sell his positions.
Your position is the call on Vatek Wabag. It's had a rough 1 month, and so have a lot of other stocks actually, particularly in the mid-cap space, also in the small-cap space. We've got Chandra who's writing in from Salem. I believe we've taken this, but I will still ask this. Tata Technologies is the name of the counter that they're looking for. Bought it at an average price of 939 rupees, and with a long-term perspective, if I remember correctly, Tata Tech took a little bit of a knock post its results. On the fundamentals though, would you hold for 3 to 5 years? What's the view, Astha?
I think that if Horizon is such a long term, then it's better to hold. But one more counter which is looking good to us in the IT space is TCS, which I really forget to tell in the earlier query also. So TCS in the IT space is looking very good to us, although it may see some sort of slow movement in the stock prices. But I think over the period of a time, it is well poised to go to the level of 4,300 to 4,400. So if anyone wants to go to any other counter, so I think TCS is also a very good choice. So rather than Tata Technology, if anyone can partially exit from this counter, then one can enter into TCS as well for the potential target of 4,400 to 4,500.